Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Can you see it? I guess it all mutes us. I wonder if they can see this right now or hear the audio.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. And thing sucks.
Deep fried pixels.
Great, good stuff. I think people are getting really cranked.
Color me.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
Deep fried pixels.
Hey.
We're back at it.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, we got to get a better opening than that, gentlemen. I don't know.
It's good.
Yeah, you like it?
We're the intro. I like
No, I just meant in general, like when we cut in. Yeah, we cut in. It's like, hey. I figured somebody was going to say, what's up? That nervous, we're all kids of the 90s. We don't know what else to do with ourselves.
What's up, please?
Fire off a gun.
I don't like
That would be very Stevens because,
Hey, Russian roulette, just cry about the crowd. Fucking man.
Each of us.
I see that we've sauntered away from our pre-show hat choice there, Mr. Mandt.
Yeah, I don't like wearing hats, but I just put that hat on and I have it over to the side here. So
Oh yeah,
You only wear hats when it's absolutely necessary.
That's right. If my hair ain't looking good when I go outside, I'll drop a hat on there if I got somewhere to be quick. And
some people have a problem switching hats. You don't have any hats at all.
That's right. That's right.
Mama said.
Yeah,
That's right. Mom did say.
Mama did say.
She said it.
What's happening, gentlemen? Everybody have a good week.
It's been hectic.
Yeah.
Stevens, I see you're not mobile. You're not on set this week. That's good, huh?
Oh yeah, I was just hiding out in the truck last time. So, but yeah, I'm a stationary creature these days. It's kind of nice.
You just don't stay too long. I don't want you growing any roots. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're already growing. Moldy.
Ooh.
Moldy roots.
Moldy roots, huh?
Ooh.
You can't have moldy roots. You got to stop watering. You need to
Yeah,
put some
I can't.
coffee. I think
always
it's coffee
wet.
is what you got to do with that. If you're a
Cold coffee?
ficus, yeah, you got to put coffee on your ficus every once in a while, I think.
Used
Yeah.
or new?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know if it matters if it's
both.
used or new.
I'll do both.
Used would be after you've drank it, right? Like you pee and all, like.
Well, whatever you do with it. Whatever you do with coffee.
Whatever you do with it. That's one of the alternatives. Wait, hold on.
You know what you got to do? You know what you got to do is you got to move yourself to the high desert.
That's right.
I wish.
Yeah, and then it gets real dry. High desert gets real dry. And you trust me, you'll be good to go.
What's the alternative to high desert? Just desert?
Low desert.
High desert's a whole different ecosystem, man. The chaparral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're here in Denver. We're in a high desert. It just gets real dry, and even there's a lot of water, even though there's a lot of water and tributaries, it's still real dry.
John Elway he was y'all's Moses, basically.
Yeah, he was. I mean, they retired his number. You go into it's Empower.
They have his jersey hanging in grocery stores there.
They call it, yeah.
He let us out of the mountains.
A lot of people will get like a little. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll get a little John Elway jersey made like that can fit a doll, and they roll it up in a tube and nail it to their door frame and treat it like Jewish people do a mezuzah. Kiss.
I wonder if that was where that was going.
They walk in. That's on the door to every King Supers in town, and
you don't have it, you're up to be fucking murdered or something or sacrificed.
There's like a ton of restaurants around here that I've been to that like they have like the retired Broncos numbers. There's like 4 of them, I think. Number 7's one of them, and then there's I don't know what the other ones are. But there's a bunch of like places around here that have like the retired numbers hanging on the wall. They're like, those are sacred numbers. I play those numbers in the lotto every week. And I'm like, and here you are running a restaurant still. You know, like I'd personally rather run a restaurant than win the lotto, and then still live in Denver. But
yeah. If you win the lotto, you're definitely not living in Denver. I wouldn't think.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know, man. Depends on how big of the lotto you win, right? Like if you win,
that is true. If you win like $14, then you can totally just stay where you're at.
Yeah. You still can't tell people that you won it though. If you won $14, you don't want people showing up out of the woodwork.
Bullshit! I won the lotto.
And where's my piece of that $14, man? Remember I taught you. Remember I taught you what you know. You ain't be here if it weren't for me.
I raised you. I basically raised you while your mama and daddy were drunk and they weren't watching you.
Man, I've been crunching for the last week or so here, and so I've been putting in a lot of hours and just getting weird thoughts, you know, like while I'm waiting on things to load or waiting on things to save or like testing stuff and it's not working and I'm just bouncing my head off the desk. And I had this really crazy thought where like I want to load up a duffel bag with a fake like karate tournament trophy and then ask somebody, like just tell somebody like, hey man, I need a ride and I need to get dropped off on the edge of the woods.
I knew where you started going, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna get dropped off on the edge of the woods, and I need you to pick me. Like I've entered into a secret kumite, and I need to get picked up. I need to get picked up in a couple days. And just go like, kick around, like scuff myself up a little bit while I'm out there and just kind of spend the time to just get right, get centered, and then take the trophy out of the duffel bag and toss the duffel bag, bury it somewhere or something, you know.
After you let you
and then when they come to pick me up, just be like, I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I'll let the trophy do the talking. You know?
Oh, that'd be hilarious. You have to be shirtless this entire time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I show up and like, one more thing here. Take my shirt. I'm not allowed to.
You got to hold this. I can't. These aren't allowed.
Then like and then just gaslight when they ask about the duffel bag. That's like the same size as the trophy.
You don't ask about the duffel bag.
No, not even that. Just be like, what are you talking about? I never had a duffel bag.
You say that was payment for entry.
Yeah, I brought some secret items that I had to donate to the tournament. So
you have to bring an artifact for your entry fee.
Look, you can insult me all you want. You ever entered a kumite? You ever survived one? You think I'm lying to
you? Frank Dukes was my uncle.
Yeah,
and he was in Bloodsport.
Real stupid.
Yeah, so. I mean, are you a martial arts man? Would that even do you even have at least enough skills to?
I mean, I bought a set. I bought a
to
set
go
of,
undercover.
I bought a set of nunchucks when I was a kid and hit myself in the balls in the head a whole bunch. You know, if that counts.
Oh, I always wanted a set of nunchucks. My friend, he gave me one of his throwing stars back in the day, and I used to think that was the coolest thing in the world. But
if you were under the age of 10 and had a fucking shuriken on you, like holy shit, man, you were a dangerous. Don't fuck with me, kid.
Oh yeah,
you're like you'll mess with
me. Yeah.
Well, Mom, I would clean my room, except I've been studying the blade.
I ain't eat no vegetables, if you know what I mean.
There will be no peas this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we had that was one of the things that I couldn't have. I couldn't have I wasn't allowed to have parachute pants. I missed out on that one.
What?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I never got a Thriller jacket. That was another big one. Missed out on the whole. My father took me. I had, as growing up, had ADD. I just had the wiggle butts as a kid, and somebody suggested, well, take him to martial arts. So they had like the little town I lived in Alabama. I guess like the next county over, they had like a place that did karate. And so my dad called him up. This is back in the 80s, and they were like, yeah, we don't take children that have behavioral problems. My dad was like, oh, all right, well. And I'm thinking, like, isn't that exactly like what most of people that go to karate? Isn't that the point? Is but
it's basically to get discipline. And
they may have sold you wrong. Who knows what happened in that conversation?
Well,
Oh, so you think my dad he dropped the ball there?
Well, I got my boy here. I think there's something wrong with him. I was thinking maybe y'all could take a look at him. Whack him.
Listen, I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't do it if I were y'all. I wouldn't bring him in. But my wife, I'm just calling you for formalities.
Is there something you could do? You could break a board with him or something?
How fire safe is your building?
Put a belt. I don't know. He don't like the word "gi," so don't put that on him. Tell him it's like a uniform or something. But he, I don't know,
Good
man.
Lord, don't say
maybe
"gi."
Smack him or something. We installed the clapper about a week ago, and he started shitting himself every time we turned that sucker on and off. So
there's just don't hit him too hard in the head. He goes down pretty quick.
Yeah, you got to you have to keep your voice between 73 and 42 decibels at all times. Otherwise, he's just very uncomfortable, and you wouldn't like that.
You're just mad, start shitting yourself, screaming like this.
You put the gi on him, didn't you?
Yeah, your dad didn't want to take you. I bet
maybe that was what it was, because it was 2 counties over. That's just what he came up with.
He's like, that's a long drive.
He's like, turns out these, instead of breaking boards, they break frozen possums in half, Brian. I'm sorry, we're gonna have to call you in chess club instead.
Yeah. No, they just didn't want to adapt me to that new way of thinking, karate.
Well, we know why can't you square dance like a normal boy your age?
Dude, we had to take square dancing classes in elementary school.
I remember taking them.
Yeah,
I remember taking them, and I remember it being that age and actively thinking, like, man, I bet we're the last kids to ever do this.
Me too. Yeah, I was like, this is ancient. This dance form is ancient. We're learning the ways of very ancient people and shit. But it's just like a couple hundred years old.
I can't wait till they have us translating Sanskrit next.
That's all part of history class.
Yeah, we did that in the Virginia Reel. We had to do that, and then we also had line dance. A lot of what's their face? Fucking the 2 guys or
Macarena?
Brooks and Dunn. Lots of Brooks and Dunn. Yeah. So.
Just like country line dancing. I thought you were like trying to name a dance called Brooks and Dunn. I didn't know that one.
No, like, they do that one song that fucking
Maria.
Yeah, I forgot how it goes.
That was so good.
They had y'all dancing to Neon Moon.
Have you guys seen? Well, here's the funny thing: is that we laugh about it all, but if you actually spent a little bit of time and got good at any of that stuff, it all translates directly into like crip walk dancing. and that kind of shit. I don't know if you've seen the video of the guy with the blue shirt doing like tearing it up, doing some clogging.
Yeah, he's smiling and shit.
Yeah, he's like,
oh, you're talking about Jesse? I think his name's Jesse.
Is that his name? Yeah, the dude that's just like, I saw these guys on the river dance. I'm gonna show them how we fucking tear it up in my side of town, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, he's got feet of satin. He just
his feet and
slide around.
Well, his arms don't move while he does it. His arms just kind of dangle, like he never took the hanger out of his shirt. And it's
that's weird, right. He does dangle. Yeah.
It's like a weird, like his feet are moving all crazy, like a duck.
But the upper half move.
The upper half is just kind of hung on the walls, swinging, and it's like Fred Flintstone running.
And he smiles and tilts his head.
Yeah, he's just happy. He's just happier.
He's real happy, dude. I bet he slays at the state fairs.
Oh, well,
yeah.
You know, he's drown in that.
Oh my god,
Appalachian pussy.
Just I mean, if you want
deep,
I mean, I hope that guy's not living the wild life. I hope he's getting like a DNA test to make sure he's not banging his sister.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a one-horse show?
Maybe he is.
You know what? They love each other, dude.
Yeah,
you can't stop love, dude.
That's his love. That's his love language. Is fucking his sister.
All I know, that's true. This is how I express myself to the people I care about.
Love language.
Well, honey,
I gotta get rid of my sis.
Other families hug, we bug.
We bug hunt. And that just means I stick my pecker in the butt.
My god! Seriously though,
anteater.
The best thing in the world when I'm having like a down moment any day, and it happens, you know, I pull that up for like the footage of that guy doing that dance to like some keep it gangsta, y'all keep it gangsta, like.
Yeah,
get some West Side.
I bet he could crip walk his ass off.
And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, man. That's so easy for him. That would be the child's play.
Yeah, that's his warm ups. Like, I would love to see that dude like toe to toe with somebody like Ice Cube or somebody, have him get on the stage and and just fucking go for it, man.
I would love to be able to do that. Like,
he's like, sure,
break
Ice
that
Cube,
out. Like, sure, like a hidden talent, just break that out at a party.
Like you can crip walk to your own shit, but can you crip walk to Cripple Creek?
Can you do this?
Grab a cripple crook.
Crip walk.
You could
Creek.
do it, Brian. You could do it if you practice.
I appreciate the vote of confidence there, sir.
That's the thing is he can't. Yeah, he doesn't have any legs.
No, I got weak ankles, man. I got weak ankles. They break easily.
My ankles are they're held together with some yawn and some baling wire and some JB Weld.
Pretty much.
That's good.
That is my favorite snack.
JB Weld?
Yeah, you put a little bit on some paper, some wax paper.
The only problem is it sticks to your ribs.
It's like toffee. Yeah, just feeling.
Really, yeah.
I had a car in high school that I just kept JB welding the hole in the muffler for like months, over and over again. I hate that stuff. I can still smell it. I know it's got that smell once you get it all worked up and.
I have the hardest time not eating it when that smell happens.
You're just like, y'all smell chocolate? This is like dark chocolate.
Would he just start sweating? What do you got to say? We hit the buffet after this. And there's one down the street. I just got to put something in my mouth. I got to perform the ritual here. I can't deal with it.
I need something in there quick.
Speaking of, not to dampen the mood, have any of you guys messed around with the Comfy UI stuff yet?
I haven't. I actually need to put my to-do list.
Well, I thought
it's pretty. The videos
as a purist artist, I want to know. I want nothing with it. No,
yeah,
I'm joking.
No, hey man, that's fair. That's fair. I haven't installed it and messed with it yet. Although I have watched a whole bunch of videos on how to install it, and it seems like a total clusterfuck to install it. Just because of the with any of that stuff, installing it is always like 40 steps. Like install this thing and pip install that, pip install, like just they need just like a package manager where you're just like pip install this thing and it just gets you all the dependencies. Maybe that's out there. Maybe
there is. Yeah,
there has to be.
You really need a dedicated machine for it too, right?
Sorry, what? Which one?
What should I? We're gonna get NBC. Brian over at NBC. Go ahead and ask.
No, I was like, you need a dedicated machine for that too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it helps to have a more graphics card intensive machine, I would think. But
no, it doesn't run on Windows. I guess is my point, right?
No, it does.
Does it? Oh, I didn't realize it did. I thought it was a Linux thing.
Yeah, you got to do like a virtual
layer to Linux.
Yeah, if you have a Mac, I think you have to do a virtual environment for it. I think that's the only one that'll give you some guff. I could be wrong.
With Windows, you can load up, basically run Linux through a subsystem, the Windows subsystem, and that's what I do all my stuff.
Yeah, but I saw a really cool video where this guy was he was using Maya. God bless him. You could do it with anything really. He was using Maya to just use just cubes, right? To like block out shapes, and he made like a city street kind of a thing and imported a monster, some crab walking thing. And then he rendered out the alpha channel and a Z depth pass, and then just a diffuse like standard clay render type of thing, and used all three of those to create a control net inside of Comfy UI, and was like making like consistent imagery with different looks and different textures and all this other different stuff in there. And I was like, man, I could actually see that being kind of useful for, it depends on what stage you're working. You know what I mean? If you got the assets already made and you're doing look dev, maybe if you're doing some different looks for different look dev or lighting scenarios to kind of help explore that stuff quickly, it could be cool for that. But it was my kind of moment where I was like, man, I could see. At last, I'm starting to see where these kind of tools will fit into existing pipelines and existing workflows. You know what I mean? Like the whole like it's coming to take our jobs reality is probably about as far off as Terminators are coming out of AI, which is going to happen. It'll happen. I don't know that it'll happen in our lifetimes. It might. It depends on how much money Zuckerberg wants to put into it.
I tell you right now, not in my lifetime.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
You'll stop it.
Hopefully not.
I mean, I have anything to do with it.
The landscape has changed. I mean, not to even. Sorry, I brought up AI. Gross. But it's going to change. I think it'll definitely change the landscape of how we do work. I mean, anybody that doesn't think that is not paying attention. But it was kind of cool, man. It was a moment. It was definitely a moment where I was like, man, I see that as fairly useful. And all my other like trappings. From like a concept art standpoint, it's a cool tool for making exploring a concept and imagery and kind of compositions really quick, unless you need hands involved or anything like that.
Just comp the hands in.
But it's usually just like I don't find it to be much like I don't find it to like speed up any type of workflow in any meaningful way. If your end goal is pixels, like final pixels. No.
Yeah.
Not anytime soon.
Yeah.
And for anybody that's done it, if you scan through like Civit AI, that site for stuff, like good luck finding anything useful unless your goal is to make weird hentai tentacle garbage.
Yeah. That's all it's made for, dude. Now.
It's a $1 billion industry. I mean, you'll sit there and knock on it.
Man.
I'm serious. That's going to be the most users of this shit. Yeah,
it got me. It had me thinking some crazy thoughts. That's for sure. Like,
but you got riled up for a minute, didn't you?
No, my mind just went all over the place. Like, man, there's enough of like. I was like, holy crap! There's enough of a demand for this kind of content for there to be an entire like a website with an ocean of content that you could scroll endlessly. And like that's all like it just brings me back to this point that I have about the internet all the time, was that before the internet, I think the world was a considerably safer place, because in every small little town in the middle of nowhere, you had one or two people who were like, I have some ideas that would probably get me investigated or put in prison, if they like looked on my hard drive.
Yeah.
And those people were just kind of sequestered, right, to their little bubbles. And now the internet allows those people to be like, hey, I'm over here doing weird shit to my cat. Me too. Let's fucking hang out. Let's exchange ideas and swap hard drives.
Hey, there's a lid for every pot.
Yeah, and so we've opened up that gate, man, and we will ascend to the depths.
Oh yeah,
for it. I think so. I don't see.
You don't think
I don't see
will
good,
ascend to the heavens?
I don't see an ultimate good coming out of it.
By being more the woker we get as a society. You don't think that's helping?
I wouldn't even say that that's woke. Like that's just
that's just intrinsically.
It's allowed us. Yeah. It's allowed us to turn over every stone with nasty bugs hiding under it at a rate that we can't squash all the bugs.
Yeah, and we're just starting over stones. Just really big ones where we know there's going to be some crazy shit under there. Like this is a good one. Yeah, this is going to be crazy. But then
it's just right. Horrors, you will witness horrors untold.
Get those crickets and
hey, look! As long as whenever I'm having a bad day at work, I can just watch some crazy shit Kanye says and laugh.
Sure.
Kanye, how much is the world?
Does he? I haven't been paying attention to Kanye. Is he still around making? Last I heard, Kanye like kind of flipped out and said some stuff about Hitler, and then
I think he's gone full like Britney Spears shaving her head era. You know, crazy.
We're gonna get the bikini Kanye knife dancing pretty soon.
I think so.
He seems like he's doing pretty good.
Yeah, the only drum I've heard of recently is the Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing or something.
I don't know what that.
Like Kendrick Lamar just brutally dissed Drake or something. He's released his whole album or something. I don't know. These diss tracks. That's all that keeps coming up on my TikTok. I'm like, I'm not even to hip hop really, but okay, it'll just come up. Like, oh, he got him. And I was like, yeah, he did. He did get him.
Oh, is that what your Facebook? It's constantly yelling at you that way.
My Facebook, yeah. TikTok. My Facebook, my Uncle Gerald, he's on there last night. And he said that if I were to forward this over to 5 different people, that I won't probably get cancer this year. I'm gonna go ahead.
The only reason I still have Facebook is Facebook Marketplace, man. I got some really cool deals on there. Like I only have a Facebook for because it'll listen to my conversations, and then if I want to know about things that I was just talking about, I'll go look on there, and it'll give me suggestions to things to buy that I was talking about earlier in the day. You know, and it really helps with my short-term memory loss.
Yeah. You just think it's magic. You just like
it's my little magical
what a coincidence.
Of ideas. Yes.
We were just talking about that work.
God damn it.
You're like, Rachel, this is the third time this has happened this week.
Look at that.
Have I won a lottery or something of luck?
Would you look at that?
Oh, I think that's just the dangest thing.
Walmart has it just popped up. I bet people think like that though, right? I bet there's like some just really stupid people, and they're just like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, like the kind that believe the official story of 9/11.
Oh God! Now you're going to get those people on our.
You're going to get building number 7. Check that one.
That's not an opinion held by Deep Fried Pixels. That is my own opinion.
The building 7ers. Yeah, you don't want the building 7ers after us.
Really, I think that about any official story though. I don't even believe in like history anymore. I think.
Yeah, you're.
I've gone off. Right? Sort of. I think that might be a red herring, the mud flood thing.
Oh, definitely.
I think there is some strange stuff that they touch on, but I don't think they've totally got it figured out. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I couldn't watch it because some of them are just so like, come on, guys! Like that's just an old photo of the city, and they're like, look at this. And then like this, in the 1800s, they couldn't have built these cities. Like,
well,
dude,
some of those are nuts. Like if you know about the Mormons, when they were and no offense to Mormons, I used to be one. That when they were going across the country, right, the Mormon pioneers, they supposedly built these grand temples. You're talking about 1,500 people that weren't trained masons, man. There's some weird stuff about some of those buildings. That
you thought about the Lord, just
he could have done it.
Work in mysterious ways.
Do you have to when you excommunicate from the Mormonism? Do they beat you out?
I think I'm technically still a member, actually. I'm just not currently.
Once you're in for life.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to like actually, if I'm not mistaken, and if there's any Mormons in the chat, they'll tell us. But I think you have to like write a request.
Tanner, call in.
Yeah.
We need Tanner to call in.
Yeah, he was in one of them. You had to like write in like a request to be excommunicated, or excommunicated is a different thing, because technically if you get excommunicated, I think you end up in like the worst version of hell, according to their teachings. But I don't know, Mormons got some pretty cool mythology, man, especially the stuff that's not on the books. It's really
if you're dude, there's, I don't know what the term is called, but essentially how they have sex when they're not technically having sex is that
through the sheets.
They call hot dogging or hot water or something. Right?
Are you talking about?
They enter inside. That's just once, right? And then so they're inside the
oh no, that's soaking. It's called soaking.
Soaking. That's right.
Yes.
And then someone comes over and bounces the bed.
Bounces on the bed. Yeah. What? Well, the one dude.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, the one guy was responsible for the it was called bubble porn, where it takes a picture of a girl or guy, I guess, maybe who might have judged, in like a bathing suit or something, and then they block out the image completely and then just do circles and cut out the circles to reveal the image, and then your mind kind of fills in the blanks and makes it like a dirty picture when there's enough. Like when you don't see a bathing suit there, you kind of it's more like
wow,
like teasing nudity.
That sounds kind of hot.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was like, man, maybe I'm gonna go to Salt Lake City and go just check out what
you guys get me. My type of weirdness.
It's my
maybe I'll do yeah, Mormon. Yeah, it's Mormon.
23 and me.
Yeah, look up Mormon bubble porn.
No, I do not.
I wonder if Mormon mud.
Just talking about it now, I'm just going to be on my Facebook later.
You know what's crazy is it really does, like, your brain really goes like, wait, what?
There's those clean flicks too, that Christian Netflix, that channel, or it's not channel, but it's just like Netflix, but it's all like Christian.
I watched a little documentary about that.
Yeah, documentary is really interesting. I think that was about the one in Utah, right? It was Clean Flicks, I think. Yeah,
Clean Flicks.
Yeah, no, I think that was it too. Yeah, they just make they cut all the cussing out of a movie and then turn it from like a 2-hour movie into like a 17-minute movie.
Oh no, I was thinking about Pure Flicks. Pure
Flicks, is that what it is?
But Clean Flicks is the one about what you're talking. They edit it down to it's just there's nothing in it. It's like almost unwatchable.
And all the impurities are taken out. It's like it's like a Brita for a film.
Yeah,
it's kind of I kind of like that idea. It's like the episode, like the Star Wars movies without Jar Jar Binks that you can get at conventions and stuff.
Or the ones that the one that there's that theory about Darth Jar Jar.
Oh, I like that theory.
The one that is he's not everything he does was on purpose, but it's kind of like a drunken master sort of thing. He's a Zith.
Good Lord. Star Wars fans will eat anything, won't they?
Yeah, they love that shit.
Jar Jar, I think, is tied to the Tartarian stuff too. Jar Jar, like
into
Jar
the mud
Jar,
flood. He's basically the mud flood god. Yeah,
he is. All roads lead to Tartaria.
That's right.
So I've heard.
Hey, well, hey, Stevens, why don't we've thrown it around about doing a little segment with you, but why don't we try out our?
Hey, I just want to let him know too. He's only got about 30 seconds for the segment, so if he, Josh, I talked to you before this too. I told you if you can't do 30 seconds, then we're done.
All right.
Oh, all right. Well, Brandon has spoken.
I'll just mess with you.
He's the tightest producer I know. It's Steven Sack of Cinema.
All right.
Steven's gonna choose a film. We're all gonna watch it in our own way, whether we own the film, stream it, whatever. And then next week we're gonna give it a rating.
I'd love to get your
talk about the visual effects if it has some in it.
And on the street, I would like to get Josh back on the street too. Do some real on the ground.
We could have him drive around in the car and just ask random people in Atlanta.
We need.
Have you seen this?
Favorite color?
Have you ever seen this movie? Have you ever seen Tin Cup?
On VHS?
Yeah, VHS.
I have a little VHS TV.
Right around Atlanta until you find somebody who's seen Tin Cup.
Just pull like Greg and be like Tim Robbins.
Wait. I think our whole segment is pivoted. We want Steven to ride around Atlanta until he finds somebody that's seen Tin Cup, and then we have to bet on how many people he runs into until we get it right. This
is actually a good idea. So I have a mini CRT. It's a 9-inch CRT and a VHS. No. Like they could guess. Maybe they have to guess what the movie is or something
Yeah.
Like I could fast forward, and then I'm like, all right, you tell me when to stop. And then
so they're iconic from the movie, right? I could see this.
Yeah. And then like I hit play, and then they have to guess off that segment of the movie or whatever what it is. That'd be a fun game.
Tracking's all terrible and shit too.
Yeah. and
the prize, you would get it to the front of your motorcycle.
So that's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
That is some rascally shit.
You just roll up on somebody random.
Brandon, I'll go to that neighborhood you got attacked on your bike.
Yeah.
You got a second to watch a VHS?
That's funny.
This white boy's crazy.
You ever seen this movie? All right, sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, we are in hashtag just white people shit territory.
Hey, that's not fair. I think there's some APOCs that would be into this.
Yeah, fair.
All right. What's our what we got tonight?
All right, we're gonna dig in. I'll close my eyes. That's a Alice in Chains cassette tape. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, they're usually a little bit bigger than that with your hands. Got to feel.
Yeah. Dragonheart.
Oh,
Dragonheart.
That's actually
after ILM made Jurassic Park.
And there was some. I don't know. Are we talking about it now? Or are we talking about it later?
Great, cool.
Well, you can give us that. Why don't you read the back of it? There you go.
Isn't that? Oh man, that's
back when we used to do that.
What's the runtime on this, Josh? So viewers will know.
The runtime is 1 hour and 25 minutes. Otherwise,
that's almost a perfect movie, actually, right there. That's almost perfect.
Oh, that's beautiful, man.
Dragonheart is a perfect movie.
Good pull, man. Good pull. Yeah.
And VFX wise, it's actually a very they built a system that they didn't end up using, but I think
wait, I haven't
we'll
seen
talk
Dragonheart.
About next time.
Yeah, I haven't seen Dragonheart.
It's good. You haven't seen it?
What?
I don't know. It doesn't sound familiar to me.
Draco?
Well, if you haven't seen it on VHS, you haven't seen it. So I could send it to you and you can watch it.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's certified mail though. So it's a sign.
Yeah, media mail. Yeah.
I'll put it in a Faraday cage too. That way it doesn't get demagnetized.
So next week, that's our homework. We'll watch that. Next week we'll discuss it and we'll all give it some kind of rating. We'll come up with our rating system. But yeah, thank you, Stevens. We're on a new segment, and we'll try and see how that goes. Last week we tried to have a topic that didn't seem to work out. I feel like it's too forced because here at Deep Fried Pixels, we're a little willy nilly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of let it happen. Just kind of let it happen. It's just like our industry, right? Like it's whatever. I mean, why you try to plan? Why to try plan for a future? There's no point planning for a future.
In the chat, I put. Tell us your best Mormon story. Just when we were talking about Mormons.
Well, look, there's no telling. The legions of fans are probably piling over each other and backing up servers to comment back. So
I should write a comment. Google find Mormon bubble porn enter. Just like some old boomer. I can't fucking figure out there.
I could start going back to church just to market the show. Be like, hey guys. There's this podcast that covered Mormonism recently.
We got some wholesome content here.
Yeah, we brought it up. We definitely brought it up.
We did. Hallelujah. And we weren't making fun of it. I like the Mormons.
No.
Interesting. I mean, I've got it. I'm kind of like the John Wick with the Mormons. If I see them, it's not fun for them.
Yeah.
I mean, oh wow, really?
Yeah. The Mormon.
I put a jihad on them.
How did the Mormons kick your dog?
It's too much.
Kill your dog.
Too much soaking.
The Mormons soaked my dog.
They soaked my dog. They watched him. They bounced his little doggy bed up and down, and I was disgusted.
I sent my dog away. I sent my dog away to dog college. A good, Christian dog, and he came back as just a perverted soaking machine.
He just sat there with his dick out, stuck in something, wouldn't move.
He just went right over and started soaking himself in the toaster, and he barked at me because he wanted me to kick the toaster.
Papa, push me around.
Papa, get the toaster.
Give it a
Papa.
shove. Well, look,
I soaked the toaster. Get help.
In that regard, I would like to point out the fact that that's what happens with sexual repression with people.
Yeah.
Right? Like
I'm glad somebody brought it up.
It's something that's innate in people and can be definitely like harmful as well as beneficial, right? But you get we're not allowed to like understand it as a society the way we act. And I always think of Japan like having the vending machines full of like used panties and like the arcades you go into there. There's just like there's a whole subculture there that services all of that shit coming out sideways from people because they're not allowed to like have sexual nature openly.
They have vending machines with used panties. That's a real thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can get a mail ordered to you. I mean, you can do that. We have that economy here in the U.S.
Well, I figured, if I Googled it, I probably could find it. I just didn't realize they were like the on demand and the subway tube,
full on vending machines there. And that's
the Pokemon cards and the pantyhose.
That's tame shit. Like, hey, I'm gonna grab a Red Bull and get some used panties and.
I'll start my day.
I'll be back. Go to lunch, Bill. I'll be back.
These are real soiled. Extra soiled.
Come on, Hiroshi. Are you ready? You pregame? You better sniff some panties because I know you can't operate without a good
whip.
Without a pheromone. You need a good pheromone. You need a good pheromone to get him started.
Call it whipping off.
Who knows what kind of like, if it's like openly like some guys on, and I would assume like there's dudes that just do it on the subway and all the girls are just like, oh my god, I can't wait to get off the subway, or they just don't ride the subway. Like, it's got to be a horrible place to be a young woman of breeding age.
Dude, every interview or video
I could be wrong.
In Japan, they're always like people who move there who are foreigners, like, you'll never be Japanese. Right. It's terrible just to live and work there. The visit's fine, but because it's like that so bad here in Colorado, and I can't imagine how much worse it is in Japan. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Like you've only lived here for 5 years. You're not a Colorado native.
You're not local.
Are you paying state taxes here? Because you better not be, because you are not a native.
Yeah. I gotta find out. What the cutoff is. If I'm coming up on it, I need to move so that I don't get actual native status.
Do you get like a special belt buckle whenever you?
No, I think you get issued a Patagonia vest, a Subaru Forester, and
it's interchangeable with Portland,
and an off leash pit bull. All those things are.
Because you rescue too, by the way.
Yes, yeah, and it's rescue, but it's also you don't get like a young pit bull. You get a pit bull, the rescue pit bull.
Problems.
3 or 4 families have said this dog is too aggressive for us.
I don't know why you got to drag a economically sensible, reliable vehicle through the mud.
Hey man, it's not me. I don't even own one yet. I think they're.
I've owned several Subarus. They're fantastic vehicles.
Oh, sure.
Well, you know what? I'm sure they are. Especially
they're fun. Look,
people in Colorado and lesbians, they love them.
I was going to say, if you're just a couple of gals, trying to be rugged and live your best life in an
you don't need a man when you got
an outdoorsy way. You just gonna throw on your flannel, hop in the vehicle with your partner, hit the farmer's market, and then go look for a place for your dogs to run. Subaru is.
Just be miserable doing it too. Don't smile.
Man, that sounds like a wonderful Tuesday, because this person also doesn't have a job, right? Like, it sounds like a wonderful Tuesday.
Hey, I don't.
They're living off their daddy's trust fund.
Maybe. Who knows, man? They'll say see.
No, they got that slip and fall money that when they were 22. They got that They got that slip and fall.
Walmart. Yeah.
That's some good money. I wish.
And I'm not.
I'd love that.
I don't want anybody to think I'm painting with a broad brush here. That's a very specific.
But listen, you gotta get the generalities. It's the base. That's the baseline.
Yeah. The hair benders.
I think
Vegas is not really
great taste.
Well,
I have lesbian taste myself. Yeah, my taste often lean very
it's almost like a 1930s Chicago mafia style with a kind of a Dali eccentricism you have. Look, in your mobile, I call them, I guess, mobile living units.
I thought lesbians taste like horsey sauce.
A little tangy.
So it's a weird thing being here. My as a white cis male, my experience with
MC
lesbians
cis over here.
Big cis. My experience with lesbians in general has that big cis. That's my rap name.
Yeah, big cis.
But it's not SIS. It's CIS.
What does CIS stand for?
Just never mind. I don't even know. I was gonna say my mileage is varied, but I have found myself after I moved to Denver, a lot of the lesbians that I do end up like keeping in touch with and talking to a lot are like older generation lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, that's because you need things fixed around the house.
Ones that are like 50 and 60, like they talk to me and they're just like, "Boy, you really get it. You just get it." And I'm like, "Man, thank you."
That's they think you're a female.
I don't know what that says about me.
You're basically
it's good.
That's good. Good. Like, I'm like, yeah. They're like, you remind me of someone I grew up with in the 50s. And I'm just kind of like, yeah.
I'm looking at a mirror.
I got a ham radio, and they're like, stop. They're like, stop it.
I love backhanded comments, right?
I'm gonna go get my $4 haircut where I pay $1 for each corner, and you got me wanting to grow my hair out, young man.
You remind me of this old crazy dude from high school we called Pancake.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But as always, the world's gone nuts. You know what I mean? I see that, and I'm kind of like, you know what? Maybe that is a good thing. I don't know that I have much in common with the people who are in encampments right now in major cities. Just see on the news or the autonomous zones wherever they may be.
Oh yeah, like the Chaz and
yeah. I saw a thing on Vice. I guess they just put out. I think it's called like Third and Pike. About the homeless problem in Seattle.
I haven't watched that yet.
Well, my office when I worked at NCSoft in Seattle was in the building on the corner of Third and Pike, and so like I know that area very well, and it's even back then was just rampant. Of course, it's nothing like the way it is.
Yeah,
now,
all the homeless people I feel like in Seattle back then always looked like they were not homeless. Because that'd be in Seattle, they always had that decent clothes on.
Well, they just look like all the Seattleites.
Yeah, and they weren't very pushy back then. I remember that it was chill. I mean, there was homeless people, but it wasn't. Yeah, it's a whole different.
I didn't remember. Yeah, I don't remember being like accosted by anybody or.
I never felt unsafe down there.
Yeah. There's plenty of other times in other cities where there's been some aggressive homeless people or whatever that I've had to deal with, and. My dad still tells the story of how I screamed at some dude in the streets of Vancouver because he was like he was straight up following us, right? Like, and I went crazy, like redneck white guy, and just started screaming real loud and getting red faced, and he ended up going the other way, but that may not have worked. I could have called my bluff.
Yeah.
Although I've had that work a couple times, I don't recommend it to anyone. I've had those fight or flight situations where I just go, like
you're not a small dude, man. You're a big boy too. So
I get all I usually pretty jolly, but I have that switch.
You turn that switch,
mode. I can get in that mode.
You go into WWF mode. You're just
100%.
You start shaking like this,
just
like the Ultimate Warrior.
Hey, Kool-Aid to the closest wall just to do it.
Sorry, Flair really fucking cracked me up, man.
When they call you bluff, though, I had a gun pull on me when I tried to pull that on a guy. He was beating a woman, and I yelled at him, like was kind of blood eye, screaming at him, like, "Hey, quit knocking her around!" And then he just whipped the gun out.
Oh, carry your bill.
Atlanta,
yeah. Mind my business. My apologies.
And she looked at me like I was interrupting their conversation.
Yeah, because they're
like she was like looking at me like that, and I was like,
"That's the only way I can come, y'all." Does he beat some shit out of me?
It could be. It's like, do it in private though, you know. And anyway, I didn't get shot.
Because they won't press charges or anything like that, and it's just like it's a cycle, you know. It's like you put her baby in jail, and she'd hate you for it.
I caught a dude one time. I was with my ex-wife and my daughter, and we caught a dude abusing a kid in the parking lot one time, and like I went into mode, and I
fucking just bear mode,
beat the hell out of this dude, and like because he was we came out of a Chinese buffet in Alabama, right? Like out right next to the Walmart in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and we're coming out of there, but as we're standing there like paying or whatever, I see this like really old guy like walking out, and he's got this little kid, and he's like dragging him or whatever, and it caught my attention because I heard him say, "You're so damn stupid, I can't take you nowhere." And he goes, "Daddy, I'm not stupid." And like as they're walking past me, and I was just like, "Oh, stab a parent in the heart," kind of, like, wow, kind of thing. Yeah. And he kind of takes his kid out. I guess the kid had taken his shoes off in the restaurant and embarrassed the father, or I don't know. But like, so he had his shoes and took him out to the car. So we had just paid, and we start to walk out, and I'm kind of watching this guy like yelling at his son and dragging it. The kid's probably like 5 years old, probably maybe even less, because he was putting him in like one of those old school seats that had like the thing that came down over their head or whatever. And so like I'm walking and I look over, and this guy is like over top of this kid in the back seat of a car, like straddling over top of him, like ramming him into the back of the car and trying to like get the thing down and like slam it. And I threw my keys to my ex-wife, and I just went off after him and yanked him out of the car and just took out, just went in on him. And then like this guy grabbed me, pulled me off of him, was like, dude, stop, like kind of thing. And I'm like, okay. And then the cops came, and that's where I thought like, oh great, I've attacked this guy, like I'm going to get in trouble. And I'm standing there, and we're, over on the other side of the parking lot. And I guess and this giant cop comes like stomping over to me with this like look on his face. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to jail. And he like looks at me. He goes, "You know what I'd have done to that motherfucker?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "I can't say." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Am I in trouble?" He was like, "Hell no, you're not in trouble. There's no one out here that's going to take you to jail. None of us saw anything. We have no idea how he got hurt." Because they were like, the little kids he was like, within, I guess the mom came out, and both of the parents' defense was that the kid was, well, I'm not going to say the word, but the R word for not mentally there, right? Like, and he was like, he said that, that word, of course, back then it was not, I guess, as taboo to say it, but like, he called the kid that like 25 times in a matter of 3 minutes, right in front of him. So like, we're taking the kid and all this kind of stuff. So, but it was crazy, man. Like, that fight or flight kicks in, and, you never know. Like, I guess now day and age, there's definitely that dude could pull a gun on me.
Yeah. Josh used to carry around those gloves, those dueling gloves. You just slap people when they insulted you. You'd always invite them to a duel outside. They never showed up.
Well, he only had the one. He had the one in his pocket, and you remember he had the other one on his hand, and it was full of Vaseline. It was to keep his hands soft,
Yeah.
If you really want to spark, inspire rage in somebody instead of slapping him with a glove, you slap him with a condom.
That'll do it.
I'll be wide open in the parking lot, wait for you. You'll be my Cinderella. Here, see if it fits.
See if it fits. Whose is this?
You're like, I just boiled this. Just boiled it. It's sterile.
It's clean.
Boiled it.
And so am I. It's clean, and so am I.
You get a rack at home, like one of those bottle racks, like for baby bottles,
like pasta. It's just fucking drying out old condoms.
God damn.
That's
my lucky one. This is one I got from Circus back in '87.
I remember this one.
Yeah. And you guys, you're like rubbing coconut oil on them, make sure they don't deteriorate.
You got them hanging on like a wooden plaque, like the spoons your grandmother's house. The spoons and thimbles. Who had spoons and thimbles in their grandma's house?
Yeah.
Everybody remember those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? When did they ever think? What at what point
magic.
in the yeah? Like did they like? I need to really get my collection of thimbles up.
I think it's like black magic shit that grandmas are into.
Mm.
They're into the occult, you know.
Yeah.
Most grandmothers.
Most grandmothers are.
My grandmother, she loved Jesus. She wasn't into.
Yeah,
She wasn't into no occults.
To your face.
We had to bury my grandmother outside of town. She was known as a witch.
Yeah. I think it's
special
cool.
spot designated for her.
Because the land became sterile when she was over like half an acre where she's buried.
Fucking pet cemeteries.
Old Nana Job.
That's wild.
That's wild. It's pretty nuts.
We actually had one of those pet cemeteries growing up. You know, not eight pet cemetery, like the local pet cemetery.
Yeah.
I would never go into it. It was like right as as that became a realization in my world. So did the movie.
Yeah.
And I remember just thinking like, no, I'm never going in there.
Yeah, there's no good for that. There's no good
especially being way down in like southern Alabama. It was like one of those like old French, 200-year-old like pet cemetery.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Probably cool bones in there though.
I bet some interesting headstones too. Actually,
yeah.
It's
some really weird epitaphs.
Yeah.
Like,
now I don't remember. There were definitely like I do remember there were like little gravestones in there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a baby cemetery once. Where I grew up, there was the adult cemetery that they had this. It was called Baby Land.
Did you have to go through saloon doors to get to the adult one?
No, it was. I remember where it is now. Okay, yeah, because I was in high school and it was in Arcoma, and you go off the state line road. It's off to the side, and yeah, it's called Baby Land. It had this thing. Macabre.
Oh,
that's where all the infants would go. Yeah,
that's weird.
Dude,
it's very strange.
Oh,
yeah.
Babyland. You know what the VFX angle on this whole thing is the original Pet Cemetery movie. There's actually a guy
145 minutes long, by the way.
Yeah. there's a shot in that movie where the guy's scrambling up over some cliffs with spoiler alert with his kid wrapped up in some trash bags, and this face comes like up out of the cliffs below, and it's a really like spooky effect because you can't really tell what's going on, but it's one of the creepiest, like most haunting effects in one of the films that I remember growing up watching that and being like, that one stuck with me.
Well, we're gonna have to add Pet Cemetery to the sack.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the original one.
The second one was total pretty bad.
Yeah.
That had like Edward Furlong, right? And then
I can't say I ever saw the second one.
Yeah, it was kind of a direct-to-video thing, I think.
It's funny. Like I remember being that age and hearing people be like, "Oh, the movie is nothing compared to the book," And like I remember growing up, like I would read the Stephen King books and then see the movie and be kind of like, I actually felt like there was a lot of things, and it was probably the age I was, because like there's this scene in Cujo that isn't in the movie where the dad, who I think was the sheriff or whatever the hell he was, is he's in like rummaging through somebody's house and he beats off on the bed. And they didn't put that in the fucking movie.
It's such a cokehead Stephen King thing to put.
Yeah, they didn't put, and I think, and like stuff like that is like in every single.
Yeah, I can totally see why they didn't put that in the movie.
It's in like every single one of his books, like in the movie, in the Misery, in the book Misery. There's a line that's stuck in my head. Maybe it says more about me, I guess. But there's a line that's stuck in my head where like the dude is like trying to use the bedpan. And it's just like Paul fumbled his penis into the fucking
the loftily heavy penis for such a man of his age, veiny yet groomed.
He fumbled it in there. Like he's not in the end zone trying to score one for the big game.
He sloppily fumbled his delicate member. It's just like George R. R. Martin shit.
like Stephen, like
Wiener.
Stephen King in every single one of his books has some like handcrafted moment that is meant to take
it's the same thing. All the kids
into a room watching some guy just stand there over the foot of the bed like, how do I tell this bitch how I feel? I know, I'll jerk off on the bed sheet. She hates that.
She loves the smell of my seed.
That really ticks her off.
And meanwhile, it's a funny thing when you juxtapose it against the kid and the wife being trapped and a St. Bernard's trying to eat him or bite him or play checkers with him. Sudoku, who knows what that crazy dog was thinking.
What was it?
But here's this guy. Here's this guy just pounding off onto the bed sheets. Son of a bitch.
He needed a clear head.
And I remember like now that I'm describing it, I remember like he described how the sunlight lit his auburn pubic hair or something like that. I can't, don't think I'm murdering the pros here.
Yeah, you really need better show prep.
Every time I see Stephen King pop up and bitch about something on Twitter, I'm like, don't get on your high horse, mister. Pubic hair lit in the dusty sunlight as he ejaculated onto the bedsheet, staring at the wood panel wall in distaste. Like,
I could barely even bleach myself to orgasm to see if I noticed the wood paneling and the match grain texture just made me sick.
That gave me an over the pants handy.
It's just like, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the master of horror. He's trying to make his tweets. He's trying to make his tweets scarier than all of his books and movies put together.
Yeah, Stephen King's a dummy. He's a dummy. He's one of those extreme libtards guys.
Well, he was. They always touted him as the master of horror, and I was kind of like, I feel like there's a lot more. Like, you can't do that in the same era that they cast Shaq in a movie as a serious actor, because that is way scarier.
What was the? It wasn't
a weak constitution.
Is Shaq?
No, Stephen King.
Oh yeah, it's a very sensitive stomach too.
Shaq looks like he has a really weak jaw, like a glass jaw. He looks like he could probably take him down.
Well, he probably does, because you can't. I mean, like, if you could actually jump up and hit it.
I was gonna say, if you can get on a stepladder and get him to hold still enough, maybe.
I could climb him like a tree.
You would seduce him. You'd probably seduce him.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. He's big. He can move. He can move for a big guy, man. But it's been a long time. Let's not forget, man. It's been a long time since he was in college ball.
Yeah, back then he was unstoppable.
He's shattering backboards.
He probably still oils his knees.
Now he's just shattering headboards.
Yeah. But that's because he has night terrors. He's just like and slamming his head.
That's actually a symptom of taco neck syndrome. Not to bring it back around full circle here. We started off with the Taco Bell.
That's right. Yeah, if you don't get that fourth meal in,
you get them back. And that taco neck syndrome, man, is no fucking joke, bro.
Taco neck? Is that where you always cut to the side because you're eating tacos?
Yeah. You get a crink in your neck from eating tacos because there's no way to eat a taco straight on, right? Like it's not like a question of like manliness or anything. Like with a banana, if you or anything like dick shaped, if you eat it straight on, you
my neck up. Oh, I mossed my neck up. I live moss.
Right. With the taco, there's no like you gotta. I don't know, man. Maybe there's.
I always get those double deckers though because it gives you that strength. So it doesn't make a mess.
I don't know about you guys, but I've started. My wife has just normal hard taco shell when it's taco night. She started making me make my tacos backwards. For years, I'd always gone meat, cheese, lettuce, topping, whatever sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I go backwards now. You go sour cream first, so it holds it all in there with your lettuce behind it, and make it backwards with the meat on top. Oh my God, it's like a million times better. I don't know why the layering seems to make the difference, but it's pretty good. Also, you want to know another little hack trick is next you have your favorite sandwich place, right? Like everybody has their favorite sandwich place, and you usually have like your favorite sandwich. Next time you go to your favorite sandwich place, turn your sandwich over and eat it that way, like upside down. Like just take the sandwich and flip it over, right? And eat it from the bottom. Your sandwich will tastes completely different.
Huh? That's some.
It's a way to make your
I can tell you
your
thing,
old
Brian.
old favorite sandwich new again.
If I can't get my sandwich plain and dry, then you might as well forget it. I'm no sauce, 0 sauce policy in this house.
No sauce.
Plain and dry.
I have a strategy. I have a strategy when I go into it. When
Plain.
I go to like 80
dry,
150 best. I want sand in my sandwich. I go into a sandwich shop and I say, look, man, I'm supposed to leap in 15 minutes, and so I'm going to make it quick. My name is Dr. Sandwich Beckett.
I'm going to need 24 inches of your finest cold cuts.
You're talking to the Sam Rockwell, or I forget his name, Dean Stockton.
Dean Stockwell. Yeah.
And you're just like,
tell him, Ziggy.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. That's just. There's just no one there.
You got a little
talking into your shoulder.
One of those little calculators.
Sir, you're just pinching your shirt.
Yeah. According to Ziggy here, I want a 12-inch club. Don't go stingy on the mayo. I hate it when you do that. I'm about to leap out. Who knows where I'm going to?
You may not have a Jimmy John's.
Leave your whole left coast herbs off of it.
So yeah, I've been working on it for a long time, and it took a pause. I got to do the.
What is that? Your Ben Affleck back there?
No, that's the
Jane.
Punisher. That's my autograph
that's right,
picture.
that's right.
It's my autograph picture of Tom Jane. This is a pro.
You don't bring Ben out.
This is a pro.
Occasions.
This is a controversial stance, but we are a pro Thomas Jane household. We have an autograph picture of Thomas Jane.
You're raising your children that way, huh?
As many rooms in this home as I can possibly hang them up on the wall. And when they misbehave, I say, "Is that you know what?"
If
Tom Jane was here, would you behave that way?
All right, to your room to read his wiki. I need you to read his wiki 5 times.
He's coming over here. You know, I told you how many times you're not allowed to watch Hung till you're old enough to drive a car.
Yeah, that's right. He was in Hung. I forgot that.
That show's good, actually. That's a funny show.
I never saw it.
Bad.
Yeah, for like just a trashy show, it's pretty fun.
Well, that was on like Showtime, though, right?
HBO.
Yeah. Was it HBO? Oh, okay.
I think
it was
HBO.
Because nobody watches Showtime. Is Showtime even a thing anymore? Did
Showtime
even
for
make
Emmanuel?
That's what
Emmanuel
I forgot about
Space.
Good.
Emmanuel.
Let me share this. Let me share this little project that I've been working on forever. I don't know if I've showed you guys this before we move on from Quantum Leap. So what I've got is this little.
This is a magic trick? Are you going to do a magic trick?
What it's going to be is it's a box, right? You hang it on the wall. There's going to be a Quantum Leap picture on the front here, and when you open it up, there's a mirror. Inside.
Oh my God! It's going to be our word.
So, my wife,
who is syndrome,
completely amazing, got me a frame from the show. You can't really see it too well here, but that's
a real
Quantum Leap. That's a real negative.
Oh, cool.
Of the guy with Down syndrome, and Sam Beckett leaps into his body, and he opens up the window and says,
"Oh no,
oh boy,
oh yeah, oh boy, oh boy."
And so this is a little Quantum Leap accelerator in here that I designed and 3D printed. It's got LEDs that light everything up, including the backdrop of this. So when you open it up, I'm still working on getting all the wiring done. When you open it up, it lights up all those lights, and then you see yourself in the mirror and can say, "Oh boy."
It's amazing. I didn't know you got that far with it.
Yeah, so I'm working on it.
It's awesome.
It's gonna be pretty.
I love the commitment. It's so solid.
It's pretty embarrassing, really.
That's beautiful. I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get it finished so I can hang it up on the wall, and it stops being a story and starts being a reality. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my adulthood.
People with disabilities too. It's good. It's like a humanitarian project.
So true. So true.
You're so woke, Zach.
Mm.
Well, he's in Denver.
I'm waked.
You're woken.
He's woken. He's wake and baked.
It's been so long since I've even done anything on it. I don't remember What's what? Oh, that's right. I got little.
Cut the red wire.
No. What I had done is there's little sensors, magnetic sensors right here that complete the circuit. And I had those working, but since I'm powering so much, I'm kind of a mutant that way. I didn't really plan. I didn't plan everything out very well, and so
typical.
Yeah.
It's like you didn't plan out our friendship either. Huh. Still,
I always
out though.
Look, I'm getting to it, man. I'm getting around to it. Anyways, yeah. So all that stuff. All that stuff lights up. It's low draw, but when I get there, it's going to be beautiful.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's Zach's creative corner, guys.
Yeah, it's a little craft corner. Crafty man.
But I've got Thomas Jane watching every step of the process, and he is
he's watching.
He's ready to punish me if I don't make it happen.
You just have some lookalike coming over. You hire him every time you mess up.
Yeah, sometimes you goof on things just to like.
This episode of Zach's Craft Corner has been brought to you by Willow on VHS.
Oh, now we have a competing segment. Oh,
no. There's no competition, man. It's just Willow. It's just Willow.
Yeah, Willow wins.
On VHS. Willow is... What can I say? You know, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Welcome to the 21st century, you know?
It's chock full of VFX, too.
It was the moment...
It was the moment...
Yeah, it was the moment in the 1980s when you realized that Ron Howard wasn't just Richie Cunningham.
He really grew up on that one, huh?
Man,
well, he came out.
Yeah, he came out swinging. And Val Kilmer, man,
really coming of age movie.
I have Val Kilmer's signature actually.
Mad Mardigan, that's his name.
Yeah, man, my cell phone has been named Mandt Mardigan ever since I owned it.
Yeah.
That's so clever.
The greatest swordsman that ever lived.
Yeah. You know, Jack Sparrow's kind of a ripoff of Mad Mardigan.
He's kind of.
Think about it.
He's wholesale. He's like, we got Mad Mardigan at home.
Yeah.
He's the
Wish version.
Wish.com Mardigan.
Wish.com. Have you guys ever even ordered? Have you ever ordered anything off Wish? Any of you? Oh, you have, Brandon?
Yeah.
Well, what was your experience?
I'm trying to think when I ordered, it was something stupid, but it was like, dude, it was so cheap. It just took like months to get to me, though. It doesn't come off a fucking cargo ship or whatever from China.
It was when they realized you weren't trying to order a child and that you wanted the actual product to order.
You get that from Wayfair. You got to go to Wayfair to get that.
Sorry, Wayfair, yeah. Wayfair, yeah, the Taylor, $15,000 for a chair. Wait, what?
It's kind of weird.
I don't know, man. Follow the money. Follow the money, Brandon.
I've been following the money, and tonight we're going to interview 3 predators.
Whatever happened to Chris Hansen? They need more Chris Hansen. I loved watching some.
They were essentially.
Did they get sued?
Yeah, something went down, and they did fucked up some way. But yeah, it was. Oh
wow!
Because a lot of it was, I guess, entrapment in a way, but they fucked up somewhere on.
Somebody got a good lawyer.
Yeah, someone. Yeah, I think they sued the entire department and NBC. And they won. I think. I'm not sure, but I know that's what show. Yeah, and someone died. I think too.
Whoa!
Like killed himself afterward.
I think so. Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah. Well, here's the question: Did anybody ever get molested and fucked up for life from that show?
No.
Yeah. But
not from that show.
Just saying, y'all.
Yeah. Playing devil's advocate here. the cookies, some of those were pretty wild though. Like guys bringing over Zimas and shit.
Dude, the stuff where it was
one dude that walked in and immediately got naked.
Yeah. He just stripped down. Other guys, they were bringing in like stuff that grown dudes would never drink, or even like regular like teenage guys. Okay, before you hit the age of 21, you've probably had a bottle of Mad Dog 2020. Like for most guys, you try like a Bartles and James or a Boone's Farm or a Mike's Hard Lemonade, and you're like, okay. No.
Hey, let's be honest though, Zach. We know good and well on payday, on a Friday, on a payday, you got a bag full of Trulies, some gummy bears, and some condoms.
Yeah.
Think so? That's worked into every single contract I've ever had. If those aren't on my if those aren't at my desk on Friday, neither am I.
You have your own rider.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what I need on a daily basis.
Listen, I'm here to work, but I'm also here to fuck. And,
I'm almost out of work.
I will not have a celibate workspace. It's flat out. That's all there is to it.
Give a little hot plate to boil all your old condoms and shit.
I eat ramen, right? I eat ramen and I sterilize on this hot plate, and I want everybody to respect that, and I need everybody to respect that as my religious and personal space.
Just fucking grunt and just fucking
yeah.
Derek, if you touch my pot one more time.
Yep. Everybody, I'd just like to make an announcement that the rut is coming, and for the next few weeks, I know I tend to be, and I can be, an abusive coworker. For that, I apologize.
I'm not responsible. Anything may happen to your cubicle.
I'm just gonna give you a few heads up. These are my triggers. I will be taking tranquilizers to subdue the effects of the rut until the final week of the rut, which I will need to couple and complete in order to continue with my work day.
Do you guys remember working in cubicles? Did anybody ever used to work in a cubicle?
I used to work in one.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite cubicle fuck off thing? Right, like because you had to have the perception management that you were working, but you always had a way to fuck off in the cubicle, right?
I don't know.
Smoking crack.
Yeah, just hitting the rock every now and then.
Yeah,
I did a thing where I would double tap on the table and go because I worked at Digital Domain at the time, and I would see who popped up, who knew the sound.
Yeah, just take a card.
Yeah,
just take a mental note.
And I'd wink at them if they looked at me. I was like,
you just hold a giant pack of cocaine going, yeah, you got it. You won.
Come on over to my cubicle, man. We're partying.
Hey, let's go to the bathroom together. Be there for
let's final some shots. I gotta take a leak. I gotta
powder my nose.
I gotta take a leak so bad I could party all night.
I could party all night. I don't know why this reminds me of it. One time I was in the bathrooms at Cartoon Network at William Street Productions. I was working at Adult Swim, and I was in the morning. You know, you work in an office. You got your morning poo. You got to go find your special little office in the back, or special little bathroom in the back of the hallway or whatever, and sitting in there and funny enough, it's Adult Swim, so all kind of crazy stuff. So they had in the bathroom, they had these really tall ceilings, and the only thing there's this massive picture of Batman's nipples, and it was hilarious. But so I'm sitting in there, I'm in the bathroom all by myself, a couple stalls. Well, the cleaning lady comes in. Well, okay, so the night before, I had gotten this app on my phone. Like my iPhone 1 or whatever it was at the time, but it was like a bunch of sound effects, right? Like I'm sitting there going through all these sound effects, and it was all these chicken sound effects at the time, and I'm like, blah, 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 like
you're just sitting there fucking laughing your ass off, probably.
I was giggling, but the cleaning lady opens the door, and then she's sitting at the door, and I blah, 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 whatever. I didn't realize, and I kind of stopped because I realized somebody just opened the door. I thought somebody was coming in, and didn't realize it's the cleaning lady, and she just goes, Pollo? with a big question mark on the end of it. You're like, Pollo? And I just started dying laughing, and that was one of the funniest bathroom experiences I've ever had. I don't know what led me to believe, or what led me to get into that story from your story, but it felt like it was the right moment.
That is beautiful. Next time I take an angry performative dump in public, I'm gonna yell "Pollo" to anybody that walks in the door.
Pollo.
That's what I just so hilarious. It chicken. But I don't know if she was asking, "Is that a chicken?" or was she
Senor
wanting
Pollo?
to communicate with the chicken? Chicken, is that you?
Oh my
God! I left you at home.
most chickens do respond to Spanish pretty well.
It's a known fact, Brian.
Yeah,
that is true.
That is. We have the bird law expert and milk enthusiast Josh Stevens in the house tonight. So we never want to. If we have any kind of animal law that we need reference to.
You don't mess with that like 2% and skim milk, right, Josh? You do whole milk and heavy cream.
That ain't even milk, man.
It's
mostly just pus.
I feel stupid for asking you now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 1%.
Just pus.
1%, 2% is mostly pus. It's hardly milk.
Yeah, you get yours. You get your own cow or something, right?
Sort of. We call it a cow, but
dude, it was only a few years ago that I even realized how milk is made and why it even is 1% and 2%. Like I had no idea that they like all milk, skim milk, and then they add back 1 or 2% fat.
Yeah, that's interesting. What
Didn't know that.
Whole milk is just.
I think it's like 4% fat or something. It's not like all fat, because you got to think they also have like heavy cream, which is even more fat.
Yeah, more buttercream.
Yeah. I didn't
know
that.
Get raw milk.
Raw milk, is that like raw water? Are they still drinking the raw water in
California? Oh, I remember that guy.
Is that just
going around? Yeah,
no, it's just like they just drink it right out of a river.
Yeah, like a spring or something. Yeah,
like unfiltered. Yeah.
Has all these ropes and like various glass bottles around him and shit. And he's like filling them up. I'm like, dude, you fucking stupid, dude.
So weird.
I mean, nothing bad ever happened to somebody drinking unfiltered water, did it?
I'm pretty sure they had to like make a law in California, like a specific law outlawing raw water sales.
Or raw milk you can't sell.
Yeah. You can. There's a place you can't sell it in grocery stores, but you can get it from farmers markets. They market it as for pet consumption.
Why is that? Because if you have to drink it fresh unless it has the preservatives,
don't get me started on pasteurization.
Cholesterol.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, we only have 7 minutes left, guys. I don't, we'll save that for another show.
The guy that pasteurization's named after, Louis Pasteur, he stole most of his work from another guy that ended up renouncing his whole theory on germs and stuff like that, saying like, I think we might be a bit wrong. Anyways, pasteurization you kind of have to do with industrial milk production because they raise cows on concrete slabs and shit like that. That's why they get sick. If they're raised outside where they're supposed to be, you could drink their milk raw and you'd be just fine. Blah 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 blah. But look into it. It's raw milk's great too. You can make butter out of it just by shaking it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Even heavy cream. Heavy cream.
And if you're lactose intolerant, a lot of times you can actually drink raw milk because it's not all fucked up.
So, there's not as much lactate in it.
Well, because the enzymes in the raw milk, they help your body process it. That's the milk moment.
I love when my raw milk, I get separated with a couple layers of the blood. Yeah. I'll spoon that off.
Well,
I'll put that.
That's called a lucky cup.
You save that for later.
Yeah, but I got blood in my milk.
Strawberry milk. It's the angel share.
Well, really? God.
Jesus Christ, dude.
They've been researching for a long time for a way to pasteurize eggs in a meaningful way, like where they get them out of the shell, pasteurize it, and put it back in the shell, because most people just they have cracked.
Why not go ahead and scramble it? If they would go ahead and scramble it and then put it back in there, that would be great.
Doesn't cooking it pasteurize it? Like what?
Well, it's funny because eggs are so hardy, anyways. That, when they bleach them, you have to refrigerate them. Ones that aren't bleached, you don't have to refrigerate them.
Yeah. We got a lot of people around us that have chickens and give us like flats of eggs all the time, and they're great because they can just sit out there on the counter for like.
They're so much better too, man.
They're so good.
They're so pretty. Like the yellow of those eggs are so much better looking in the mornings.
You can cheat that. You just have to feed them carrot. I've raised tons.
You feed them saffron.
Anything red, anything with vitamin A, it'll make their yolk a lot redder.
Yeah.
If you feed them lavender, it makes them pale.
I've never experimented with chicken feed and what their eggs come out as. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just like when you eat a bunch of beets, you piss blood.
Yeah, it's like when I eat asparagus. My wife sleeps on the couch.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I got that gene too.
You piss the bed, or?
No, it just
smells so bad.
Put down the sheets, honey. I ate a load of asparagus. The rubber sheets. I'm gonna piss everywhere tonight.
The secret is to not.
Do you guys don't wet the bed? Wait a minute.
The secret is to not pee on her.
Unless wake up all warm.
It just kind of weeps out of me. I don't know what to tell you.
Pretty simple.
Dude, you want to get your prostate checked out if that's happening.
Do that to that age. It shouldn't do that. I don't think.
Yeah, I know a guy that'll check it for you for cheap.
$40.
Yeah, you gotta bring your own oil though, because he likes checking dry. he'll give you a lick.
Woo! It's just
it costs you $7 more.
My buddies in high school called me WebMD. Just kidding. I didn't have any buddies in high school. Real early. Bring it on here. Let me get a taste. You really ought to have more nutmeg in your diet.
Christmas is coming, you know. Santa Claus won't suck you down, won't suck you off. You got enough.
You got to get your chimney ready.
Santa won't come down your chimney if you ain't getting ready for him.
Ooh, he just he sticks shit down your dick. Oh, Jesus Christ!
You talking about deep sounding?
Wait, have we moved this on?
Are we still live? I don't know if we can.
We moved this on to jelking now.
I was way into that as a kid, as a teenager. Jelking.
Oh, yeah. Have a good joke.
I hate to ask. Is it anything like soaking? Jelking?
No, it's supposed to make your dick bigger.
You put a couple lead fishing weights on the end and let hang.
I didn't do that.
Well,
but it can really damage your member, I guess. So
yeah, you just extend it with the rings like an African neck.
It's an exercise. Anyway, you look it up.
Here's the rub. It don't work.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, if that were the case, Steve-O's junk would hang to his ankles.
Yeah,
probably.
As much as he's tied it to things.
Yeah. Why just long and thin is my guess.
just real sinewy and floppy. It's like little Donnie. We're not going to go back into little Donnie, but
yeah, little Donnie.
We went down that road. Did we do that one on the live? I don't know. We went down that road on one of the podcasts. I think that was one of the pre-shows.
Patreon.
The show before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for the Patreon account for sure.
Yeah.
We should just do an OnlyFans instead of a Patreon.
Well, that's going on over here. I have that on over here.
You do? Nice.
Yeah. I have that.
He's
that
completely pantsless right now. It's the webcam is just right under his tuchus.
It's just the lower camera.
It's the one under the desk.
Subscribe.
Everyone say hi to Strawberry Phil 333.
Oh my god!
You wear a skirt. Actually, it's just a camera pointed up your skirt.
Well, it's a kilt, Josh. But you know,
sure, yeah,
sure.
You're not Scottish.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. No, my secret's out. Sorry, that's my OnlyFans. I do my feet gravy show will be later tonight, guys. If anybody'd like to see that,
I hope you're putting biscuits in it this time, mushing biscuits with your toes with the gravy.
Here's a PSA for perverts out there. Actually, I dated somebody once that was quite into the underground of like fetish and OnlyFans type and adjacent things, and they sell those we were talking about used panties before. They sell like pussy pops, right? That like it was a sucker that was up in the pucker,
wow,
right? And that's not what they are. Anybody that's selling those, you know what they're doing? They're going and putting it in. That's what that is.
You mean to tell me they're not really sticking it? Well, man,
nope. You'd get sick shoving.
I'm going to be writing some strongly worded emails to Darlene tonight.
Sick. I get madder than hell. What the heck?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking horn swoggled again.
Yeah, I know. It's a good scam.
This wouldn't happen in Japan.
Yeah.
No.
They only put out quality products in their vending machines.
That's some deep level transgression right there, man. You break the trust of the people.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was that? What was that one girl? I noticed there was that one girl that like got sick because she was like she was just farting in jars and selling it, but she was only eating like beans, and she ate too many beans. Had to go to like the emergency room. It was like a real girl, and the only reason I know about this girl is because my wife and I, one of the trash shows we watch is like a 90 Day Fiance, and she was actually on that show.
It was one of her. Yeah,
it was one of the girls on that show that was doing it or something, and like she just farted in jars and made like $350,000 farting on jars in like a month.
What?
Yeah, you know.
And here we are worried about like AI taking our jobs. Like that girl. That girl is
she's a maverick.
She's like reads those articles and she's like in a jar.
She could just paid a bunch of homeless people to fart in jars for her.
Dude,
that is true. That is very true.
And you know those are potent too.
I would just be going to every food truck court in the city
fluid.
with like a Camelback and be just like, "Hey, bro,
need you to fart in this tube." Just squeeze a little in each
jar.
Just like
suck. It's like a vacuum. And you suck it up.
Just like baby nose cleaners.
Honestly, you could go downtown and hold a clipboard and be like, "Excuse me, we're doing."
You got one of those like Ghostbuster jumpsuits.
Yeah. Excuse me, we're taking surveys right now and having people fart into my Camelback. Would you be willing to take a second to save the planet?
You have like 3 oxygen tanks that are just full of farts.
Just confuse them. Yeah, just confuse them. Like, yeah, you got the whole tank there and everything. And
I think it's bad. I think procedurally it's bad because you got to squeeze the end of it, you know, because you're not gonna be able to put it in your mouth, right? Like, so you got to squeeze the end of it and hold it real close.
You're talking about the Camelback. I was like, usually I just give it a push and it comes out.
I think once you have used it up and you got like old fart in there that you haven't been able to get out, you sell that, and that's like the spatula.
Basically, they call the seasoned pack.
That's like selling a whiskey barrel.
Like a bowl of the
brownie. You make art out of that.
You put water in there, and you go, "Here, man, here, you use this Camelback. Go hike a 14er. Go hike a 14er. I'm telling you,
that tastes like Darren."
You won't get diphtheria. You'll have sworn you just chugged a gallon of goat piss getting up the top there.
Oh God, I think we just alienated half of the 27 subscribers by it's made its appearance.
That book gives us every right.
Every right.
It's our constitutional right to talk about farts, and we want to.
That's the First Amendment. This fart talk has been brought to you by the First Amendment.
It's only natural.
Well, guys, I think we're about to the end of our official 3rd episode. So I think this will be the episode that we'll be putting all these out there to the world of podcasters and getting those over to the podcast world. So if you're one of those people and you finally caught up to us, welcome. I guess you hear us in about 6 months. I don't know. Once we've become canceled.
Yep.
For whatever reason. I don't think you really can make it good until you kind of have the cancel culture come after you in podcast world, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
And how it works, and this is the Joe Rogan approach, isn't it?
I don't know. Who's that?
We're working hard.
Who's Gene? Who is this Gene Rogan you talking about?
Is that the guy that sells that hair stuff? The stuff that makes the hair grow
Gene
back?
Rogaine?
You got Gene
Rogaine. I know Gene
Rogaine. Rogaine. Listen, my hair's... Don't even talk. Forget that.
I'm on the payment plan. I've just got about a quarter done in the front here.
Right, yeah.
Plugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like that?
I like
That's
it
good.
too.
I got plugs on my back. People kept thinking I was too younger than I am at the bathhouse.
They're just surrogate plugs though, right? Like you're just holding them for this other guy.
Oh fuck! You're incubating a bunch of fucking hair follicles on a sack on your back somewhere
to sell them for hair plugs.
For a premium.
It's just like an egg. It just kind of comes out. And it's
I saw a picture.
What? You take your shirt off in the beach. You're like, what is wrong? He's like, oh, that's just my
with
side
curly
hustle.
hair.
That's just my side hustle. Don't worry about that.
No, it's just a big thing of hair that's really long. The hair follicles at the end, and then fuck, dude.
It's head hair, so it's just like silky smooth and long.
Yeah,
it's like Japanese
blonde
silk.
or red.
It comes out. Yeah.
Ugh, that'd be gross.
Giant fucking sack. It's always really sensitive and hurts.
I got a harvest coming up in a month.
Why do you think I'm always leaning forward?
Dude, that's a script. That's a script if I ever heard one. American Werewolf in London
bit too. Actually, they find all the people that were incubating sacks of ears and testicles on their backs and inner legs. You ever seen that bit on breast eye? Dude, the Saudis love white women wrists, and Saddam Hussein's been known a client, and it shows a guy in pain. He's like, he's got over 37 livers he's incubating on his back. He's like, that's really, dude, it's so wild.
What's that from?
Breast eye. It's under the science episode. Yeah, check it out.
I'd love to see that.
He's got 37 livers on his back.
Yeah, it's a fantastic bit. Yeah,
it's pretty goddamn wild, is what it is.
Talking about Bill Clinton and stuff too. It was like in the '90s when it came out, but it's pretty funny.
That's good.
That's hilarious.
I saw a picture on the internet, of course, the other day, where some guy in China had grown a nose on his forehead. I was too scared to click the link, but he had a regular nose, and then he had another nose that was growing like up on his forehead in the picture. And I was like, ooh, this picture is like in between like the clickbait articles that start showing up at the bottom of a real article. Yeah. And it was like looked like it may have been legit. And then like right after that, it went straight into the crazy obvious clickbait stuff. And maybe I'm an idiot for not recognizing that as obvious clickbait. When I describe it, it seems a lot more clickbaity than
that's what I was thinking of.
Dude, no, but it's that's intriguing though. I kind of want to know.
Say it out loud.
Yeah. I think I found most of my favorite fetishes through clickbait. So
yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay, so it's a real thing. Chinaman grows a nose on his forehead. BBC News. All right? I'm not calling it up.
Chinaman.
Chinaman. Not Chinaman.
He's a superhero. He's a Chinaman.
Chinese man.
He's made out of fine porcelain.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found the is that us? Is that Keyboard Cat playing us off here?
Oh, I don't know. Were you about to share some insight? Or have a breakthrough here?
He's about to show us a mutant.
Oh, we can see a mutant. We can make that happen.
I posted it to the private chat.
Oh, it's posted to the private chat. Oh, why? Oh, I got a Rogaine commercial. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, that's cool. He looks rad.
He's like a mutant.
Yeah. I mean, why is it oriented the way that it's oriented? Like, why wouldn't they?
Because it's closer to his brain.
What?
I don't know, but all I can think of is like if it rains, that dude's gonna have a really shitty day.
That's kind of what I was thinking. It's up here like this. Like, why is it not oriented like in the middle? Why is it over here like this or wherever it is?
I bet you that it's not connected to his respiratory system. It's probably like maybe it's like when you put a nose snoot on the hood of your car. Maybe it's like to make his brain.
It's a deer.
Cool his brain.
It's because he rides a moped everywhere.
When he runs, does it make a whistle?
It scares the deer away. So
What's that? Remember that old video? It's like whoop whoop. I hear the cars coming. Whoop whoop.
Bub Rub and Little Sis.
That's from American Juggalo, right?
Supposed to be making breakfast.
Like that.
What the whoop whoop? No,
whoop, whoop.
But the original one was Bub Rub and Little Sis. They ran some muffler shop in Oakland, and they were installing whistle tips. And he's like, the whistles go woo. It was just fuck, man. It was the best. I remember watching that video and then just sitting back in my chair and being like, I get to say that I saw it.
Yeah.
Like, this is like it made its way to me because it's already like getting famous, but like I'm seeing it before it's peaked, before the rocket has hit its trajectory. Yeah.
I did the same thing with that. Remember the he needs some milk. Oh. I remember. I think me and Brandon were in the studio watching that together. I think he needs some milk.
Yeah, that was a wild.
Yeah, that one, and then that's one of my favorites. Also, the backup Terry one.
That's when we found out. Actually, Brandon, if you remember, that's when we found out one of our coworkers, Nick, worked with the lady that did the famous grapefruiting video.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the grapefruit. Yeah,
grapefruiting.
Yeah. Do you not know about grapefruiting?
No.
Well, it's a side like Google, but it's a pretty. Yeah. The sounds this lady makes are pretty extra. We'll just put it that way. It's a really
sounds are not safe for work.
Yeah, no,
yeah, we can't play it. We'll get banned if we play it. But it's a nice lady, and she's just
really moisturizing the man.
She makes grapefruit. Yeah, she explains how to grapefruit your man.
I see.
Yeah, something that you and your wife should watch. Yeah, be like, why? Honey, I know we're laying in bed. We don't have anything to watch. Let me show you. I heard this instructional video. And then just go into it blind. Just you and her watch it and see what happens.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Grapefruit me.
and then at the end you just hold one up, see what she says.
Hollowed out, ready, just ready to
go. I'm just not really.
It's already my size.
Not really into grapefruit though. Is that going to be an issue?
Not at all. It's more an issue for the grapefruiter than the grapefruited.
Yeah. See, I would imagine that it would sting your eyes and nose. And
now, if you have a lot of sores on your
on your
members, it's not good. Yeah, grapefruit might be an issue. I think
it could cause another outbreak.
Yeah. Make sure you make the rind. Aggravate. Make sure you make the rind big enough, though. Nobody wants a sharp rind.
Good to know.
Yeah. It'd be a dry grapefruit, wouldn't it?
Mm. Well, afterwards.
Mm. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
All right.
Well, on that note, let's end this.
Damn.
Well, on that note, everybody, make sure you make it over to. Let us know what you think at podcast at deepfriedpixels.com. I don't know, Tanner, let us know. I think he's listening. He's our fan.
Please, Tanner.
Yeah,
give us a good Glassdoor review.
I hear he's just been scorching earth of all the last companies he's worked at. Just, going around and Glassdooring them.
We're trying to get a grapefruit sponsor too.
Please, we are. We're always looking for a new grapefruit sponsor. But thanks for everybody for joining us again. Thanks, Brandon, Josh, Zach. Yeah. We'll see you again next week. Thanks to the Constitution and overall. And Dragonheart. Hey, don't forget your homework. Next time. Don't forget your homework.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Later.
Yeah.